Okay, Rocky, 8-1 start to the season. After last year, that start, what's kind of led to the success where I think it was about Thanksgiving last year, you guys really started rolling, and that's kind of carried over early on in the season?
It's the experience that all those guys got last year, and the ups and downs and the adversity that we faced, and then the recognition of what we need to accomplish from a process standpoint, from an identity standpoint in order to be successful. And we've added some really important pieces early on with guys like Daniel Schlane, who was our first round phase 2 pick last draft, and Hayden Harrington in a trade from Green Bay, Etienne Lessard. Those guys have been difference makers for us right from the hop.
This start to surprise you?
No. I mean, listen, this is a hard league, and we very easily could be 4-4. We've found a way to win some games when we needed to. We've got good goaltending from both guys. We've got some timely goals down the stretch. We've got good penalty kill. Our power play's been good. So, the reality of it is I'm sure we'll hit a downturn at some point. We'll have to fight through some adversity, and that's all part of the 62-game season.
You've got if you break the game down into all three phases, I mean, you've got a goaltender that had back-to-back shutouts. You've got Jack Picard that leads the league in points. You've got Blake Montgomery that I think has 9 points in 8 games. What is kind of the strength in this team where you kind of find your success, but it's kind of all over the place?
We built this team from the net out, and that was starting with Jan Shostak and Will Prowse, and and then we've really focused on having a strong decor. A lot of the guys that are on that decor this year spent the hard minutes last year, and the frustration and the ups and downs and an 11-game losing streak, and learning how to win, learning how to compete at the junior level, and now we're getting depth scoring from our forwards. It doesn't matter whether it's our quote-unquote first line, fourth line. Guys are capable of contributing. Gio DeJulian's been great. Hirsch has been great. There's so many guys up and down the lineup. Pelly had a big goal on Friday, so it's not just the usual suspects when it comes to guys putting pucks in the net. We're getting contributions all over the lineup.
Shostak specifically, how has he elevated this year? The stat lines through the first few weeks have been pretty incredible.
It's through the roof. I mean, he's what we expected him to be, which in our opinion is the best goalie in the USHL. And there's not many guys that get consideration for the NHL draft at his age. He's going to, and he's going to be an impactful goaltender at the college level, and be a guy that can play at the highest levels of pro hockey. But he's just continued to get better, and what he's doing right now is no surprise. He had a great summer. He was prepared when he came back, and he had goals, and his aspirations are to be successful for a quote-unquote undersized goalie at 6 foot. It's not an easy road to get to the National Hockey League, but that's his intention.
How old is he?
He's 19 right now, and so he's in his last year of junior eligibility, and could have been gone to school, but the focus was making sure he's prepared to be a student and an academic contributor when he gets to St. Cloud, and so we wanted to spend another year working on his English and making sure that he was prepared to be successful when he gets there.
Talking to Jack, he said right now you guys are just finding ways to win. You've seen that a little bit, but what is the kind of the identity you want to see when you guys are winning games that other teams know what you're going to do?
We need to outwork everybody. We need to be more physical. We need to touch pucks first. We need to play fast. We need to, I tell the guys we got to put our work boots on. We're blue collar, and I lean on the history of my family and the fire department history that we have. My dad, my grandpa, my uncle, my brother. We really leaned on that this past weekend in Youngstown. We rode the fire truck into the Cavelli Center on Saturday. So, to me, when everybody's running out, you need to have the desire to go running in and to knock that door down. And so that's what we stand for. That's our identity, and that's what we believe. And so that's what we're going to continue to create when it comes to our culture.
I know you guys have played at home already this season, but what's your message to the fans that now want to check out a team that's got an 8-1 record?
Listen, I know that it's always a challenge in the fall. We're a big supporter of the high school football in the area and the other high school sports, and obviously the Huskers and everything great that goes on there. But there's a hidden gem here in the ice box. There's guys that are going to play in the National Hockey League playing right here in the hometown, and I would urge everybody to come out and check it out and see what we have to offer. It's a great environment, it's great family fun, and more than anything, it's fantastic hockey.
And then a 60-plus game season, 8-1, going back to last year, how do you kind of keep a team from hitting that wall and just kind of pushing forward and taking what you guys need to do?
It's actually easier when you're winning. You can be harder on them when you're winning. And so, I told them a story of a few years back. My team actually won 30 games in a row. And we had won the 15th game in a row. And we had a no puck bag skate after that win because I wasn't happy with our process and the way that we were playing. And so this is a chance for us to really hone in on the details and what we want to focus on. And yes, we're winning games, and that's great. We're trying to stack as many points as we can early on in the year, but our focus is our process and not our results. And if we're playing the right way, we're going to win more games than we lose. But if we're just finding ways to win, which is fantastic, but if we're only doing that, we're not improving. And so we're really focused on finding the detail to our game so that we can have longevity to our success.
You rode the fire truck in Youngstown?
We did.
That's amazing.
We did. I know people. Actually the parade truck was retired many years ago for the Youngstown Fire Department, and long story short, it was sold by the department and then put back for sale, and my uncles bought it. And so they use it for the local parades in town and for the birthday parties for the grandkids. And so I rode it all the way from the hotel to the arena. We pulled over, and the guys jumped out of the bus and jumped on the truck, and we had the sirens and the bells going as we pulled into the Cavelli Center Saturday afternoon.
That has been really cool.
It was a very special moment, and for us, it's about making memories. And I told the guys, you might not remember the result of this game in 20 years, but you'll remember that moment with your brothers. And so for us, that's what it means to build this culture and to be there for each other.
Okay, Blake, I alluded to this, last year. At this point in the season, it wasn't a great start, but it was kind of that early November, Thanksgiving Eve is where you guys really turned around, and now you guys are 8-1 in a fresh season. How big was that stretch last year of making the USHL playoffs, taking a first-round series, and then leading to where you guys are now?
Oh, it was very crucial, especially during that rough stretch, like you said. Just looking back on it, you realize how much stuff you did wrong and how much you could have did differently, especially coming in with the new guys we picked up and the key pieces we made. But I think the biggest difference is we just click well, like everyone is driving towards the same goal, and we're all in it together.
And how big is it? Rocky said in past years he's had a team win 30 in a row, and that's where he can kind of be harder on you guys. Is that good for a coach that, the wins are good, but he cares more about the process and your guys' future on that?
Absolutely, because it makes you not get complacent. It makes because at the end of the day, you can win 15 games in a row. The 16th game is still going to be just as hard as the last one, because it's hard to win games in this league, so you don't take any of them for granted. So we just, it's our brand of hockey. We're going to come in, put the work in during the week, and then try and get 4 points every weekend.
Tell me about this fire truck ride you guys took into the arena in Youngstown.
As you know, his family is a family of firefighters, so took the bus over to Youngstown, and then we got out, and then he said, come on, hop on. And I was kind of shocked at first. I was like, oh, are you really riding it in? But got the sirens going and then started riding it in. It was awesome. It was obviously different. It's not something you normally see. It makes you feel different. We were going into the game, but definitely got us fired up.
Why do you think your coach did that?
I think just to send a message to show that, there's more things than the sport, and bigger things coming, and family there and all that, and then just being able to go out and do that for him, and because it was a big weekend for him and we knew that, so it's good for us to go in and win.
That first you guys looking to do well. Yeah. Very untraditional, especially for first month of the season.
Exactly.
Stuff, right? Exactly. Catch you guys a little bit less.
Oh yeah, it absolutely did. Some guys were funny.
So what do you make of the 8-1 start? I mean, that's a tremendous beginning. It's a long season, but you guys have to feel really good about the work you did in the summer and the preseason to pay off already in such a short time.
Yeah, it's hard to put into words because obviously last year the start went very differently. So just being in this situation this year, it's, you obviously never want it to end, and you just want to do everything you can to keep it going, which is what we're going to try and do.
How has the record led to, increased energy, tempo, excitement about coming practicing every single day?
Just it makes it more exciting knowing that you can come in, put the work in with your brothers, and have fun in the same process, and still go out and win games, and it just makes it all come together very well.
What's been the secret sauce here? What's behind this early season success?
I think just the connection we have down there in the locker room with each guy, stall to stall. There's not one guy who wouldn't do anything for the guy next to him, and that's something you can't force or something just make happen. It's something that's got to happen naturally, and something that we found to just have.
Around the team a lot, but are there outside sources that you kind of look towards too? Like Fargo had a very successful season last year. They're kind of in a similar boat you guys are in now. You got your older brother. He scored a goal the day after you scored a goal. How much has he kind of been kind of an influence for your play and just kind of knowing how to work the process of growing up in junior hockey?
Yeah, biggest thing he did for me is the process side of it, because obviously he's a defenseman, I'm a forward, so the main stuff is habit stuff he works with me on, like diet, nutrition, and having a good routine or whatnot. So it's obviously a big role model of mine, and it's good to talk to him about things that you can't really talk to certain people about, so it's good.
And then I think you have 9 points in 8 games. How important is that for you to have that hot start, especially like Jack Picard's on a 9-point game streak. Jan Shostak has had back-to-back shutouts. Individual success. How big is that for you guys right now?
I'd say it's something I'm not too worried about, because going into the game, it's not necessarily something you want to worry about. You just want to go in and win. But I feel like if you're doing everything to help your team win, you're obviously going to have the individual success that comes along with it.
Your goaltending has been outstanding.
Oh man, Shostak.
What can you say about those guys? And
they make some plays and some stops throughout the course of the game where you guys are all on the ice and oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's something you saw a lot last year, even during the rough parts. But just even obviously we know about Shostak, but Prowse, just knowing that he can come in and stand up for the boys and handle the rest of the game as well is huge for the group. But I just couldn't be more proud of those guys, because they work so hard all week with art and everything, and just knowing that they're going to be consistent in that is very important.
They hard to score against in practice.
Oh yeah, and they love to give it to you too. They're always running their mouth.
And how big was Prowse, especially when Shostak went down in Youngstown, to come in behind a goalie that had back-to-back shutouts and kind of shut down Youngstown? And what was kind of the message to him, or did you guys give him one that you guys got his back and he has yours?
I'd say there wasn't really a message. It was just kind of just supporting and encouraging him before he went in, because it's tough to just, you're cold, you're not expecting to play, and you just get thrown to the wolves like that. So he dialed it in real quick, and then all you can do is just pray for him and just give him all the love and support you can, and then just trust him. The biggest thing I'd say is trust.